Good video. All right, let's see the update, guys. So the same guy made a video 3 days ago. SkullandBones is finally here, but is it any good? So let's see. And this is why I wanted to show this, because I will never buy this game. I do not trust Ubisoft. I've learned way too well to not trust those. So we are watching the video instead.
So SkullandBones,
because that's a lot cheaper for me.
And I've been playing quite a lot of it. So it's time to ask the real question. After the huge disaster of every single lead up and delay for this Ubisoft original,
let's see.
How actually is it? Is it any good? Why is part of me actually excited? Okay, I have epilepsy, never mind.
You're excited because you want them to have the W. You're desperate for the W. You've been thinking, even though you've seen the evidence in front of you, that Ubisoft is going to you. You're thinking, you know, maybe this time they get it right. Maybe we get what we want. Maybe they don't it up. And it's like when you have you ever had a friend chat where you are actually, dude, like I don't even have a friend. This was me. I was in a relationship for 7 years. And those last 3 years, every single time, I was trying so hard to make that relationship work. And every single time she would do something manipulative or terrible or something that would, you know, normally break up a relationship. I'm like, you know, maybe next time she won't. Maybe it'll be different this time, boys. Maybe. And it never is. Ubisoft is like an abusive relationship, guys. That's the true facts right there.
SkullandBones, the open beta, and the first time that I'm ever playing this title.
Let's do it.
I'm actually kind of excited because of the amount of lead up and
menu narration.
Been there, yep. We all have.
Enables narration.
Many of us. We either been in it or we know it.
Of controversy of this build up, there has to at least be something here. After all the delays, are Ubisoft really going to release something unfinished?
Is Ubisoft going to dare release something unfinished? Brother! Are we talking about the same Ubisoft? They do this shit on the regular, man.
Well, this is feeling quite Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. So far, I don't hate the way it looks. Oh my god, we're literally like swiveling on a... There doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of weight to the boat, I will say that.
Very floaty boat, yeah.
Goes without saying that
very
this
arcadey.
Is the open beta, that things are subject to change, but we can get a pretty good idea of the game now. I mean, Ubisoft released it in this state because they were proud of the way it looked. This was the advertising campaign to try and get...
They still have the Gatling guns, guys.
People into and play the full title, so we get a good idea of what we can expect. We open up in a battle. It is a huge battle against the British Navy, and we are the captain of a big pirate ship. You're able to take down a few guys at the start, but eventually you do just get demolished. But we do get a good idea of how the combat works, and it's, well, it's interesting.
Okay,
so
let's
these
see.
are front cannons. This is all controlled quite a lot like us.
By the way, this is my first time seeing the open beta footage, period.
C4. Sorry, am I a literal bombard cannon?
Yes,
okay, so tapping
you are.
W
that
puts
is
our
what you
down,
are in this
tapping
game.
S puts them back up. You got it. Okay. God, it does look good though. I can't deny that. Look at. Oh,
yeah, the water,
gorgeous.
the skies, the clouds. That does look good.
Oh, hello. You're different. So I am spamming left click to fire each individual cannonball. It's not like Black Flag where you fire a volley. Every time I click, a cannonball is fired. And that is the biggest problem for me, because it takes away a lot of the strategy of firing a volley and having to reload. It's a bit more like having a machine gun, which just feels really off. Let's see.
It's a terrible design choice. It's not accurate. It's not fun. It takes away player agency. All of the L's.
Rockets. What is going on? Whoa, we are being chased by quite a few ships now. I've just gone through the ship. I just went through the shipwrecked boat. That's horrible. Oh, I've set something on fire. Oh no, it's the rockets. They are so accurate with those things.
What are these rockets?
I am being chased.
What
down.
are
My God,
these?
does it look good? Oh, my sails have started to go. Once the British Navy overwhelm us and we are capsized, we have a short little cutscene, and this is where we can decide our character customization.
Phone games that look better,
Character
yeah.
Customization is pretty.
To be fair, there's a lot of phone games that look really good. Like, there's a lot of terrible, terrible Korean gacha MMOs that look absolutely gorgeous. They're horrifically bad games, but man, they look good. I'm just gonna toss it out there. They really, the looks are easy, not easy, but like, they're really able to make those. Meant to be Mortar, but it's terrible? Yeah, exactly, it's terrible. Yeah, it's a fair point.
But at least this tries to be somewhat of an RPG. Then being picked up by two funny fellas, we have our own little skiff. Now, this is so basic, there are no weapons on it. All you can do is sail around just that tiny little bit. And actually, it feels way much better than the bigger ships.
Yep,
I
can
mentioned that
imagine.
massive ships feel like they're so light, and that you can just handbrake turn in most of them.
But also, a skiff is supposed to move like this.
Which actually is a thing. Gonna do a quick 180. See, this is the strange
What
thing.
is
You are
this?
basically driving these ships as if they're cars. What the hell was that? I mean, it was convenient, but come on, lads. What is going on there? Ah, much better.
I'm all for gamifying certain things and taking away a little bit of the historical accuracy to make it a fun game to play. But this is a bit much. And by a bit much, I mean, like, this is way too much.
You know, oh, it's another human being. Oh
Yeah,
my
exactly,
God, this
Zero.
game
Correct.
actually looks gorgeous. Oh my God. Look at the water.
The water looks good.
Okay, Ubisoft.
They know how to do certain things very
This is
well.
one of the best looking games that I've ever seen, I think. Imagine
I don't know
if this
about
was
that.
the game and you didn't have any of that rubbish, goddamn arcadey shooting
Yeah,
like
this part right here is totally fine.
the beginning tutorial. This was like your little open world.
Dude, there's like a dozen devs that worked on this part of the game. And they're like so proud because they did their part really, really, really well. And that's one of the saddest parts. Like, there's a lot of game devs that work at Ubisoft that were responsible for the good parts of this game. And they worked their asses off. And they did a really good job for their small bits and pieces of the game. There's a lot of small bits and pieces here that honestly do work. But the overall game just sucks.
Look how
It's
gorgeous
so
it is. Oh, there's
sad.
someone else over there. Hello. Oh, they're being attacked by something. They just lost some health. Unless they just rammed into an island. That is also very, very possible. S to disembark. Oh, sorry. And whilst I have been very critical, and I'm going to be completely honest during this video, I think the game is probably one of the best looking titles that I've ever seen. The lighting is gorgeous, the texture work is amazing, and, well, one of the more important bits, the water. The way it laps up onto the
water
ship
looks
over
good.
the side and it spreads out over the deck before
Arcady World of
slowly
Warships.
draining
Yeah,
away is
exactly.
really,
He
really
actually made
nice
that
touch.
comparison in the
And then, of
previous
course,
video that we
dropping
watched.
down into the coals and this beautiful Indian Ocean.
And
So
it's
this is
exactly
the
right.
opening. We go to this little cove, there's a guy that we can talk to and he gives us a few little quests. These quests involve things like going collecting some loot that have fallen into the water from the battle before and heading onto the ship to find our spyglass. And this is where I find most of the issues. The core mechanics of the game are okay, but everything just feels a little bit shallow.
Yeah.
Whether it's entering this ship, just breaking away some planks.
Ubisoft loves making shallow shit for some reason. They adore it.
In using these cannons that self-reload constantly.
What is
Even
this?
walking into this abandoned ship, it feels like it's forcing you in a set direction, and actually
It's so linear. Like, the open world of Black Flag was so much less linear than this. And that was 10 years ago.
there is not much exploring to do. Oh, man is dead. Spyglass acquired. Great. So now I
Yeah,
can
exactly,
head down
Oval
this.
Zero.
I keep thinking there's someone next to me because of the goddamn audio. It's so strange. I can head straight back to my ship. At least I can teleport back to my ship.
I don't know if the
Not-
screen is blacking
no.
out for him all the time or like in the
Exactly
game
most
or what.
Interesting way of doing it, but it is an easy way of doing it. I'm gonna go and say hello to this fella. What happens if I ram him?
Ram the skiff
Oh my
with your
God, he's
skiff.
just got clones of our people. No, don't. No, I was gonna see what we could do if we could ram each other.
Kill it!
Huh? What's wrong? Oh,
A shark!
we're being chased by a shark. Not ideal. I mean, that's not even talking about the bugs that I found in the first 5 minutes of gameplay. Ubisoft have just really struggled with this. Oh my God, why did the blink? Why did the eyes blink like that?
The Exeter's guts spilled across these shallows.
Skip just like ramming into the beach.
How far can I get into the water?
I'm
Okay,
so
I can
sorry.
get
That's
here.
so good. Oh, invisible
Hey.
wall. Yeah.
Let me
Did you know that pirates can't swim?
interact.
According to this
I
game,
beg.
pirates can't swim.
Oh, you've managed to
Machine
get
Gun Preacher, welcome, my friend. We miss you, buddy.
It would
I had
be
my
nice
birthday
if I could
a couple of
actually
days ago.
interact with stuff, you know, guys.
How have you been, Machine Gun? Miss seeing you. It's good to
There
have
we
you
go.
back.
I had to relaunch. I couldn't even get back onto my boat after I talked to the
That's why they use
tutorial
boats,
guy.
because they can't swim. Yeah.
Pressing Z does let you teleport to your boat. Wasn't working for me. Going to the waypoint that lets you teleport to your boat wasn't working for me. I had to literally relog in order to carry on playing the game, which is ridiculous. Yet after completing the first little tutorial bit,
We have some
we
new
got to go
videos
out into
up
the
for you
main
as well,
ocean,
Machine
and
Gun.
we'd arrive at St. Anne, which is the main
Enjoy,
port hub
enjoy.
that you're going to be using, at least in your early part of the game. Picking up quests from NPCs and of course finally upgrading our ship. We need to go out and find some resources in order to do that first. Okay, well, here comes the second bug. So you have to find some acacia trees. You can go to the spots that are pointed on the map. Yet
Right.
if you go to a resource point that has recently been visited by another player, you can't pick up any resources. And
Right.
there's no indication to tell you why not. So you end up just sitting there. Me and my buddy here also did the same, not understanding or not knowing why we couldn't complete this mission. I actually just had to Google it myself.
Oh my god. This mini game is driving me bananas. Oh my god. Devil Puppy, welcome, my friend. How you doing tonight?
To work it out. And then we get to the resource harvesting. It looks so bad. I mean, I saw this in all the gameplay and the trailers, and I don't know why they've kept this in. It really does look like a mobile game.
It really
Like trying
does,
to
yeah.
Click at the right time.
Like
to
a
get in
bad
that
mobile
green
game.
segment to get the most resources at
Quick time
once.
minigame.
I
It's like
don't
so
know
boring.
why
Yeah,
they couldn't
exactly.
even just do this as a cutscene. As much as I hate the cutscenes and as much as I think it's ruined this game, the laziness, it would be better than this. This just looks absolutely awful.
Yeah.
It's also the same with hunting, by the way.
It's just
as I found
embarrassing?
out a little
Yeah.
bit
They're not
later.
capable
As
of
we
being
head
embarrassed,
back
though.
to St. Anne, we can
That's
finally
the
upgrade our
problem,
ship,
wait.
put some cannons on this thing, and finally have something that is a little bit more resembling a pirate ship, and it's pretty cool. I do like the customization here. I'm able to put cannons on the front, the starboard, the port sides, and eventually, I think, in the ship, I'll be able to put them on the back as well, but this current one is a little bit too small. Then you feel like you have a little bit more power going into the ocean. You have some weaponry and a little bit of speed
Okay.
as well. The way that ships work, by the way, is they do feel like they have engines. It doesn't really
They have
matter
engines.
what sails you have up. You're going to be going at top speed most
Oh
of the
my
time,
god.
except for when that stamina bar runs out.
A stamina bar?
It does seem that you just have some sort of engine, so it doesn't actually matter where the wind's going. I'm just going at a fairly constant 5
How?
knots. There is no
How does a
difference,
pirate ship have a
which is
stamina bar,
unfortunate.
guys?
I wish they actually put some sort of implementation.
don't
I mean, there
understand.
probably is some wind implementation, but it doesn't seem to make any difference to me whatsoever. I can go 5 knots either way.
Dude, the wind mechanics in literally Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is better than this. How is this possible? How have we regressed so far from Legend of Zelda Wind Waker?
Keen-eyed for prizes and a lot of guns.
I
can get me
don't
more guns,
understand.
Don't you worry, Mr. Scully Boy. It looks like there is a decent amount of choice that you can have whether you want to play this as a trade.
It's
or
not
a
lazy,
pirate.
it's design
Of course,
choice.
I'm going down the pirate route.
I
because
think I don't
ain't
think
weak.
I don't think the devs are lazy. I think it's executive design choice. That's what I really think. A lot of the big issues for big games like this are because of executive design choice. They looked at the numbers of how much it would cost and how much time it would take to develop a decent win system and everything like that. And there's like, that's not. We don't need that. I mean, look at our gamers. And they have some fat cat executive who isn't even a gamer himself. He's just straight up a guy from like Wall Street or something, looking at broad business trends. That is what that guy's job is. And he's like a shareholder. He's looking at what shareholders want. And the shareholders want a lower cost for making the game with a higher upside. So that is why it's a games as a service, always online mess. That is exactly why they're chasing that Fortnite bucks without making a good game. That is exactly what it is. AJ, welcome back, buddy. How you doing, my friend? It's been a long time. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, AJ.
Well,
Happy
I am, but
evening.
I ain't obviously weak. And it's a shame because one thing
AJ,
I really,
should hop back in our
like is
Discord.
The ability to
Miss
try
having
and
you in there.
navigate using the wind, but that's just not
Tell us
much
about
of a
life.
factor. They do say when you go into storms that you slow down, so on and so forth, but I've not really noticed having much of an impact. Wind rarely
What is... Dude, he's like literally zooming like he's in a motorboat, man. It's like straight up a motorboat.
comes into impact. And I thought that for a
Oh, the
ship
problem is this game is not even low budget, Hopeful Zero. Over the 10 years, this game has probably taken like hundreds of millions of dollars. But the problem is they keep restarting their thing. That's the big issue. Ooh, nice, AJ. Congrats.
that would have been the main thing they focused on. You know, making the ships feel like they actually have some mechanics related to the real world environment and making them satisfying. Sailing around, being able to do handbrake turns and swivel on a foot is just not that interesting.
Yeah,
It feels
exactly,
like I'm
exactly,
driving a
Wade.
car, and I don't know why
It's
this
not
is
used
the way
well.
they decided to go.
And they don't focus on the right
Maybe it's
things.
because the rest of the game is very, very
I mean, I bet you, I don't know if he's going to talk about it, but I bet you the cosmetics shop or the pay-to-win shop, who knows with Ubisoft, the transaction shop, the microtransaction shop, whether it is cosmetic only or not, that costs a lot of dev dollars to make. A lot of people don't realize because you have to make every single cosmetic. You got to make every single part of the shop. You have to make the infrastructure to run the shop and everything, and the servers to run that shop, and so on and so forth. That is one reason games as a service games cost so much money to make. Not only that, I bet you there's a battle pass for this. I bet there's a battle pass. Ubisoft game without a battle pass? Ooh, I don't see it happening. I mean, there might not be. I don't know. But that battle pass costs a lot of dev dollars to make as well.
and
A
because they want
lot.
to try and make it as fast-paced as possible for this sort of RPG MMO style. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It
No.
doesn't feel like that.
Doesn't
whole
even
bit
look
of
good.
Machinery that Black Flag did.
For how
But
it works.
It needs a whole crew in order to actually function. This just feels like a one-man speeder car.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. Yet once we've got our extra ships and bits and pieces, we can go out into the world and try and find some guys to hunt. You'll find a lot of these merchant ships going on.
Like, oh my god. I just thought of it. Holy shit. Starfield's ship play, I mean, that's spaceships for one thing. But that ship play has more strategy than this game. Like, you have to time your shots. You have to shunt power to different aspects of your ship, your shield, your engines, your light speed, your actual guns, your various types of guns, your lasers versus Gatling guns versus missiles, so on and so forth. This has none of that. There's no strategy involved at all in this in this ship fighting.
And much like
Yeah,
Black
exactly,
Flag,
and that's
if
saying
you use
something,
your
exactly.
spyglass, you can see what level they are and what resources they have.
I mean, it's a little basic, but it's actually not that basic. Like, dude, this is really basic. Get great excuse. That's the point. Like, there is depth. There's a certain amount of depth to a lot of things, and like Starfield, I'm only comparing that because that is also ship combat, and that's very recent. That is at least made in the same ish type of generation as this is, and that has much more depth. Elite Dangerous, for one you're asking circles sometimes. Yeah, I've not played Elite Dangerous, to be fair. So you might be very, very right about that.
At the moment, actually fighting other players didn't seem like it was much of a thing, or at least people were.
Hell, we were talking about EA. EA's terrible Star Wars ship game. The one that was like talking about how it's the spiritual successor to Rogue Squadron. Was this called Starfighters? I forgot the name of it. Well, we played it last year for May, for Star Wars Day. That game was extremely shallow, and that game had more depth than this.
ganging up on these merchant naval vessels.
And that was like
you know,
giga
was a decent
shallow.
idea. I had someone that invited me.
That
to
was
join
more
their
shallow than
squad,
Starfield.
which you can do, but I'm not entirely sure how useful it is, other than doing missions.
Sorry,
at
my
the
eyes
same
like
time.
I have an eyelash
But
in my eye.
we did go out into the ocean, into this storm, and start ganging up on a few merchant ships as well.
You just give EA money anymore? Yeah. I think I got it for like 90% off, which is why I got it. The original Twisted Metal. Oh my god.
What are you gonna do? Fire your little spikes?
To be fair, when original Twisted Metal came out, like the OG PlayStation 1 days, you could get away with that because that was stellar for the time, Hopeless Zero, right? But you're right. This does feel, dude, Twisted Metal had special attacks and stuff though. Twisted Metal had like pickups on the ground. Twisted Metal had like various like obstacles on the map. Twisted Metal had more depth than this game. Twisted Metal was more in depth than this game, dude. Like, look at, I remember I played like the shit out of Twisted Metal games. Twisted Metal straight up had more depth than this game.
Yeah.
Straight up.
There's
That's how
30
bad it
damage
is.
down. I can't see. Okay,
You had
we're gonna have to
multiple
board these
weapons in
lads.
Twisted Metal.
We're gonna go for a boarding. I'm about to see
Skill
the SkullandBones
sets,
boarding
power-ups, all
for
kinds of
myself.
shit.
Here we go. I've heard many things about this. I cannot wait to board an enemy ship and see exactly.
Bro, Twisted Metal had no microtransactions as well. I'm just tossing it out there. 0 microtransactions in Twisted Metal games. Oh my god. Twisted Metal is straight up a better game. Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah, Twisted Metal 2 was peak, yeah. Dude, the Twisted Metal games were really fun, man. They were really, really good. I love
How
those.
cool this truly is.
There was a Star Wars
Alright,
version
lads.
of Twisted Metal,
I'm
by the
coming.
way. I don't know if you guys ever
I'm
played it. I
coming.
forgot the name of it.
I'm-
Bounty Hunter, I
There we
think?
go.
Or something like that.
That's embarrassing. I keep missing. Okay, so we actually have to aim the.
More or less one
we
speed.
gotta-
Shooting depends on the angle. Virtually no reload time. Step back from PS Twisted Metal. Exactly. Yeah. Twisted Metal, you had speed. You had momentum. You had various different kinds of attacks. You had, it wasn't really RPG mechanics, but you had upgrades to your car.
What the hell is going on? That's it.
I'll never forget how EA completely screwed Star Wars Battlefront 2 and
that's so
microtransactions. Yeah,
embarrassing,
exactly.
man. Why would you do
Exactly.
that? I know they're angry at me and they're trying to attack me again, but we go for more loot. Oh, fella, please don't get that close. Please don't. Brace. We're okay. Oh, we're not okay. Can you go away, son? You've got a nice boat, I understand, but go away. Let's try and get a boarding on there. Have I? I have actually.
What is this health bar on the top, man? What is this shit? What are they doing? What are they trying to do here, man? What are they trying to... Dude, they're like literally shitting in a bowl and handing it to us, saying eat it. That's what they're doing. They're not even saying that. They're saying pay $70 to eat it.
Attached to him. I'm in. I've grappled them.
The fuck
I
is
might have
this
blown up their
shit?
boarding ideas, but it's fine because we got some loot from them. We'll have to go and find my friend.
Yeah, Bridge
Friend,
Commander.
where
Yeah,
are you?
exactly.
Why are you still blowing people up? Oh, you're over here.
Yeah.
There's some loot there.
Yeah,
Can I not
Guardian
go-
Die. Yeah, you played it as well. Twisted Metal had varying armor types, weapon types, speed variation, momentum, smooth damage updates to your car, and smooth teleportation. Not only that, it had an entire game world, multiple maps all over, all with different traps, obstacles, ramps, jumps, so on and so forth as well. Just to add that to your list of very true things. But I mean, I can't even tell you how awesome like the various different game worlds were. I remember there was one that was like an entire like skyscraper, and it was like, no, it was a set of skyscrapers, and you had to jump from skyscraper to skyscraper. I think it was a boss fight. I'm pretty sure it was a Twisted Metal 2 boss fight. I don't remember exactly which one was which because I played like the first 3-4 Twisted Metals. And one of them had this like, it's, oh my god, I can still remember that skyscraper map. That skyscraper map was insane. Yeah, good story for each character. Yep, multiple characters. Yeah, Spectre's character. The taxi driver guy as well. Forgot his name. I forgot a lot of their names, but like I remember exactly. Holy smokes.
Oh my god, this
Hey,
guy's been
Simoto,
watching
welcome, my
Hog
friend.
Wheels. He's been hard at work, my friend. Good on you, son. I'm going to sail with this guy for a little bit. He clearly knows what he's doing. Sorry, boys. We're coming in for an attack. Bush, 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 bush.
Bush, bush, bush.
Board that thing. Board that thing. Come on, let's grapple it. We've got it. And we're in. We're in for a boarding action. And there
The
come
cutscene.
loot.
It's a
Time to head back to
fucking
port.
cutscene.
It is time. Let's piss
Oh
off some
my
ships
God.
before I go. I made them angry, and now I run. So after going and
Is there an ammo system, or do you just never run out of cannonballs? It looks like you never run out of cannonballs.
playing this for a few hours now,
What is
what do
this?
I actually think? Well, Ubisoft just have missed the mark, I think.
It looks like there's, like,
completely
no
of what
resources
communities have
whatsoever.
wanted. It feels so arcadey, and I know I've said that so many times.
Oh, wait, is that who?
but it's
Okay.
Probably, at least for me, the most
I don't
important
remember
part of
exact
this. It
storylines,
was
but yeah,
not the game
totally fair.
that people thought that they were being advertised to in the first place. This is not
Hopper?
a pirate battle game.
Which one is
I actually
Hopper?
don't know what it is.
Yellow
at this
Jacket's
point
a
in time.
taxi. Yeah, yeah,
are
there you go.
missions that you can do, but they feel very, very shallow.
I
They're
played
mostly
every
just
character,
fetch
like,
questing
oh my
and
God, dude.
general Ubisoft.
Like, dude, the Twisted Metal games, 1, 2, and 3, I 100%ed those games. I played every single game, every single difficulty, every single character. Straight up. I played all of those just so I could see, because I think on the hard mode of those games, right, guys? On the hard mode, it had like a special ending, if I'm not mistaken. It showed you like a 5-second longer, 10-second longer ending or whatever. And I was like desperate to see all of them. Do you cheat though?
Gameplay.
Sometimes.
The ships themselves have some customization to
Game
them.
Genies,
It's
man.
still
Do you guys
once
remember
again in
Game
the
Genies?
beta, so we haven't been able to dive
Those
into
were the
that
days
all
of the
that much.
OG Game
Yet
Genies.
Even then, there still feels like there isn't enough gameplay mechanics to really get yourself interested and hooked
And
on
Game
this title.
Sharks.
It feels as wide as
Wait.
an ocean and as deep as a puddle.
Which one was it? Was it Game Genie or Game Shark? They're both of them were like, you know, the hardware stuff, but I can't remember which one it was for PS1. Twisted Metal had built-in sheet. Yeah, some games did. Yeah. You didn't need a Game Shark. Gotcha.
Sure, the map is huge. Sure, it looks really pretty. But when you actually get down to the graft of playing this title, there isn't
Exactly,
that
Opal
much
Zero, yeah.
interesting gameplay. Because they messed up the way that ships are handled. They messed up the way you go and collect resources, disembark into islands that are just done through cutscenes.
Game Genies were
They
cartridge
messed up how
games.
you fight other
Gotcha,
ships.
yeah,
Instead
okay.
of having
Okay.
volleys and volleys of
I had
cannonballs,
both.
you now
Wait,
have
I had a
semi-automatic
Game Shark or Game
machine
Genie
guns
for
on
every
board
single
your
OG
vessels, and it's so
thing that I
strange.
used.
Then when you go into boarding, you have this weird thing where you have to try and get the
Dude, the Nintendo Game Genie was so jank that it had, I remember what it looked like. It had like, it had where you put in the cartridge, right? And it had like the same thing on the outside, kind of like, you know, like a USB adapter feels like right now. So you stick it in, and it had like this flap. And if you didn't like stick it in the exact right way, you could straight up just break your freaking Nintendo, because it was just sticking out, and it could like, you know, bend and like, you know, like twist inside your actual NES. Oh my God, man. Holy shit. I was so shit scared of breaking mine, because my childhood best friend had one as well, and he broke his Nintendo with his Game Genie. It was so brutal. I remember that. Oh my God. GameGenies are to blame for a lot of the bent pins. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I had a Game Genie for my Game Gear, for my Game Boy, for my NES, for my Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo one was made really well. Like, you put the Game Genie in, and then you put like literally just the game on top of it, and it uses the same like technology that like certain games did back in the day. Because like, dude, there was an adapter. I think it was called the Super Game Boy, where you literally stuck it in as like, it looked like a normal Super Nintendo game, except it had like a slot cut out on the top, and you would put your Game Boy game on top, and you could play your Game Boy games way back before a Game Boy Color came out. You could play it in color on your TV. It was so cool. Dude, I remember losing my shit. Sega made games like that. Oh yeah, dude, Sonic and Knuckles was not a game. It was a game adapter as well as a game, because Sonic and Knuckles, you could flip the top open and put all of the other Sonic games on top and play those original Sonic games with Sonic and Knuckles, or with Knuckles in it. That's how you play those. I had them. I know exactly what you mean, Hopeful Zero. I played all of those. Dude, it was so cool, man. It blew my mind that you go back to the previous games and play them with knuckles in them using that. It was insane to me.
hooks up and above and then try and actually attach onto the
Sonic 2 and Knuckles? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wait. It was overpowered as fuck.
So when another player is doing it, essentially all you see from your outward perspective is someone grapple onto them, the enemy ship just explodes, and that's it.
Oh my god, man.
I don't know why they've...
And then we've regressed to this, guys.
It is still the open
We've
beta,
regressed
but
to
it will be coming
this.
out in about 7 days from this point. So it seems an incredible...
And now you gotta buy your cheats, guys. Now you gotta buy your fucking cheats.
strange direction for a title.
With
In
microtransactions.
other words, it doesn't have much of a direction. It feels very shallow, and the best you can say for it is it looks goddamn gorgeous, and they've done a great job with that. But every aspect and every mechanic, I think as a whole, feels like it just hasn't had the time that's been put into it.
Oh my god,
Even
what a
now,
disappointment,
after
man.
countless
What an
delays
absolute
and almost
disappointment.
a decade of development, it feels like it's had about 2 weeks worked on it. Because it just...
After over 10 years of development, it feels like it's had only 2 weeks of work on it. Man, if that isn't the quote of the video.
doesn't have
Holy
any
smokes.
depth to it. Every single mechanic, from the missions to the ship handling to the resource collecting to the combat, feels very half-baked, very shallow, and that once you've tried it for an hour, you've pretty much sussed out everything this game has to offer. But I want to see this full
All the
release. I
depth
wanna
in
see
an
where
hour.
it goes. I want to see how they improve on some of these issues. But let me know what you think. Have you played the open beta? And if you
Bro,
haven't
they're not
already,
gonna
by the way,
improve on
it
any
is
of these
free,
issues.
So you might as well at this point. I don't know if I'm going to pay for the full game, though. That seems like a bridge too far.
The problem is there's going to be people that buy the full game. And they're hoping that enough people buy the full game. And because enough people will buy the full game, they'll see it as a financial success. And if it's a loss, they're going to put it on their taxes as a loss. And they're going to take the L and make money via having it as a loss. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. The quadruple game, though. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Holy shit, man. I remember, oh my god. Where is the interview where they talk about making a quadruple game? Holy shit. I just want to see that quote. Quadruple-A game, Ubisoft. Holy shit. Ubisoft CEO dubs SkullandBones a quadruple-A game. While beta players say it's not even worth $70. Oh my god. Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so good and so bad. Ubisoft has defended SkullandBones' lofty price tag, dubbing it a quadruple-A game. But many people who played the recent beta are not sold on it. SkullandBones' journey to store shelves has been anything but smooth sailing. And if you're finally planning on setting sail on the high seas adventure, it's going to cost you no less than $70. $70 freaking dollars. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Yeah, Darkseid, we just looked up all the information about this, man. In a recent investors call, thanks to VGC, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot was challenged on the game's price by an analyst who argued that considering it appears to be going down the live service route with... Guys, what did I say? Battle passes, seasonal events, an in-game store, and premium currency. What did I say? What did I say, guys? I'm too good. I know too much. I have been burdened with knowledge. I've been burdened with the superior knowledge of the games industry, having been in this world for my entire life. And I know how this is going to go. I'm sorry. I wish I wasn't right. I sincerely wish I was incorrect. But the writing is right here. It is right here. The move could potentially be limiting the size of the player base. Instead, they suggested a free-to-play model might be more fitting. Guillemot defended the $70 asking price, saying, "You will see that Skull and Bones is a fully fledged game. It's a very big game, and we feel that people will really see how vast and complete the game is. And it's really quadruple-A game that will deliver in the long run." Oh my god. And do you know why he's saying all this, guys? Do you guys know why he's saying all this? He's saying all this to boost sales, but more importantly, to boost the freaking what's it called? Jesus, my brain is farting. To boost stocks. Is to boost the stock. That is literally why. There is no other reason. Because all he cares about, you can tell why, because it's an investor's call. And when it's an investor call, all you're doing is talking to your shareholders. That is it. Ubisoft only is caring about their shareholders. That is why Skull and Bones game is a live service game. Because live service games are what shareholders want. They're what investors want. We see this every single time. A game that would do better as a single player game ends up becoming a live service piece of junk. That's exactly why. While Guillemot certainly feels confident that Skull and Bones is value for money, it's a different story all the way over at the Skull and Bones subreddit. Ooh, man. Kind of tempted to look at it. We might look at it. User Walking Dead 1282 says the game is fine so far, but adds there's no way it's worth the $70 asking price. They highlight issues such as ships feeling like they're sliding on the water rather than moving through it, and mass flags not blowing in the same direction as the wind. Oh my god. Guys, what did I say? What did I say? Straight up. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker had better sailing mechanics than this game. Legend of Zelda. When did Legend of Zelda Wind Waker come out? It was GameCube. I remember that. I played it. Played the shit out of it. It was my favorite Zelda game. When did Wind Waker come out? Let's see it. Let's read it and weep. 2002. It's been over 20 years. It's been 22 years. 22 years. No, not 2008. 2002, baby. 2002. Twisted Metal has better sailing mechanics. Yeah, exactly. And we've regressed. We've regressed. Holy smokes. Many others are in agreement, saying that while they enjoy the game, the price is too high. There is absolutely no way I'd pay $70 or $90. Do you know why, by the way, guys? Do you want to feel bad? Do you know why he's saying parentheses or $90? Because $70 is only the base price. The Platinum Edition with extra DLCs and unlockables and maybe, $5 of premium currency or whatever is going to be the $90 price. To pay it, to be able to play the game 3 days early, you're going to have to pay $90. It's another trend in gaming that I fucking hate. Oh my god, I love this game, but the max I'd pay for it is $40 to $50. Dude, I would not even pay $20 for this fucking piece of shit. They would have to pay me to play this game, man. They would have to pay me. $9 Canadian? No, my friend. Traveling Gamer. Every major release that we've seen, not every, but most major releases that we've seen for actual AAA games in the past year, 2 years or so, it's always released like the normal base game, and then it's released like the platinum premium version, the director's cut. They always have some kind of shiny name for it, and it's basically for like special cosmetics as well as like a 3 days of being able to play in advance. They did that with Diablo 4, and I hated it. I bought it, but I hated it. No, I actually, no, I only bought the base game for it. I did not buy the premium game for it. They did it for Starfield. I hated that they did it for Starfield. They did it for all kinds of games. Like, dude, it's hard to name a game they didn't do it for. One of the only games they didn't do it for is Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 was straight up one price. That is it. 0 microtransactions. And then they were like, hey, you know what? Everyone who pre-ordered the game just gets free cosmetics. Just take it. It's yours. Enjoy it. I think they gave it to everyone who bought it on like release as well. I'm pretty sure. It was a free LC. It wasn't a DLC. It was a free LC. They're just like, just take the free cosmetics. Enjoy, guys. Have fun with it. That's the difference between Larian Studios and actual AAA companies. By the way, guys, that's the difference. That's the difference between Baldur's Gate 3 I mean, they're Larian Studios are one of the best. Yeah, I know. I'm just displaying the difference. Exactly. One of the few that didn't do it this way. Oh my god. Weighing in on a separate on the issue on a separate post, user accomplished month 85 reckons the cost of the entry will be Skull and Bones undoing. I feel like this won't gain much traction, they write. If this wasn't in development hell and they didn't need to recoup development costs, I could see this as a $30 to max $40 game, or better yet, free to play. Skull and Bones started development all the way back in 2013, initially as an expansion for Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's set to release this Friday, February 16th. Wait, it releases today. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Meaning there's only days to go before you find out after all these years it's right or high or sinks like a stone. There's no if. It's going downhill. Like, dude, the only good thing out of this entire process, and it's like a silver lining, is that we see yet another huge L for Ubisoft. And you and I get to laugh into the sunset, while crying. Because we're crying because we all wanted a really good pirate game. But we're also laughing because, frankly, fuck Ubisoft. And the fact that they're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars from this entire debacle is kind of just desserts. They deserve it. They deserve every dollar they're going to lose on this. They absolutely deserve every dollar they fucking are going to lose. When was the last time Ubisoft didn't take a massive L? Ubisoft had some W's. Not many, but they've had some. I mean, like, dude, Assassin's Creed Valhalla sold like crazy. I don't really like the direction of the new Assassin Creed games, but like they sold incredibly well. Like they definitely made their money back and more. Ubisoft makes massive money on a lot of their other games and service games. They still make money hand over fist on certain titles and so on. So they do. And you guys don't know, Ubisoft is going to mobile gaming in a big way. Ubisoft mobile games coming out. They're making a Division mobile game. They're making X Defiant as a mobile thing. They're making what is the one that's not the Division? Oh, Assassin's Creed. Yeah, they're making an Assassin's Creed mobile, by the way, in conjunction with Tencent, by the way. I'm not even kidding. I am literally not even kidding. So they're going all in on games as a service, mobile microtransaction bullshit. And that's why I'm here to educate you guys about this. I want you all to know. We're going to be making this into a YouTube video. By the way, if you're hopping in from the YouTube video, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you in here. We stream every single night on Twitch at CapCorgi. And we do this all live. And with the studio audience, you can have your voice heard, and I'll respond to it. And we talk about all kinds of fun stuff. If you like the video, leave a like, leave a sub. Enjoy the good vibes and the great gaming and the great discussion. And definitely hop into the amazing community that we've built over here. Yeah. Oh my god. I really missed the option to collect and recruit crew members. Yeah, dude. I remember one of the early builds of this game, each crew member had like certain stats. Like certain ones were better at loading, certain ones were better at sailing, certain ones were better at lookout. And it would like change your lookout radius and stuff. This is all the way back in like 2016 that these things were talked about. That's way gone. That's way gone. Yep, $40, $35 or less. Oh my god, dude, I wouldn't even pay $20 for this game, man. Scrapping changes cost Ubisoft a lot of money. They pushed out on us, which will end badly in the long run. No, they're desperately trying to push their stock price up. That is it. That is literally it. That is absolutely it. The deluxe. Yeah, that's the other term they use. The deluxe edition, guys. I forgot. So, not platinum. Deluxe was the word I was looking for, and I forgot that word. So, sorry about that, guys. At this point, do not expect more from Ubisoft. Yeah, it's so true, man. It's so true. I don't know what other games Ubisoft is coming out with, but I think like the only other Ubisoft game that actually looks good is a Star Wars Outlaws game. You know why? Because that is just straight up a single player game. We saw the trailer for that at where did you see the trailer for this? We have the YouTube video for it. Oh, I think it was just the upcoming games trailer. Yeah, it was like the 2024 upcoming games, and Star Wars Outlaws legitimately looks good. But that is because it's fully single player. Like, there's no There's no microtransaction bullshit in it. I didn't know Ubisoft still makes games. They don't make good games, to be fair, generally. So, you know, you're not really missing too much. But yeah. 0 on-foot combat. No swords. No pistols. Oh my god, man. How the mighty have fallen. Holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. It's so sad, dude. It's so sad. But honestly, I am looking forward to seeing Ubisoft take the L. So at least we'll cover that. And when Ubisoft comes out with the numbers of how much money they've lost, you can be damn sure I'll be making a video about it, guys. And we'll be talking about it then. Do not worry. Do not worry. We'll follow up on that.